Before we begin, take 1 second right now. Subscribe to this channel, because what you are about to hear is not just a story about a coin. It is a story about power, timing, history, and the kind of quiet wealth that most people walk past without ever noticing. Imagine holding something so small it disappears between your fingers, something most people would dismiss as loose change. A coin that once bought almost nothing. A coin that sat in pockets, drawers, and dusty jars. Yet this same object carries a story that reaches into the birth of a nation, the collapse of an empire, and the psychology of men who understand patience, legacy, and long-term value. Today we are talking about the South Africa 5 cents coin from 1961. First glance, it looks ordinary. Modest size. Simple metal. No shine that screams luxury. And that is exactly why it is dangerous to underestimate it. 1961 was not just another year on a calendar. It was a turning point. South Africa stepped into a new identity, cutting formal ties with the British monarchy and declaring itself a republic. When a nation changes, its money changes first. Coins become symbols. Statements. Quiet declarations of independence carried in the hands of everyday people. This 5 cents coin was born in that moment. Think about that for a second. This coin was minted at the exact time when power shifted, when old authority faded and new control took shape. Men in government offices signed documents, crowds debated the future, and presses struck metal that would circulate through an entirely new era. This coin is not just currency. It is a witness. Most men between 35 and 65 understand this instinctively. You have lived long enough to know that value is not always loud. The most important things often look simple. A good watch does not scream. A strong man does not boast. A powerful asset does not beg for attention. This coin fits that rule perfectly. Back in 1961, nobody cared about the 5 cents coin. It was too small to matter. It paid for nothing important. It was ignored. And because it was ignored, most of them were used, damaged, lost, or melted down over time. Only a fraction survived in meaningful condition. Scarcity is never planned by the crowd. It is created by neglect, and here is where the story starts to tighten. The South African Mint in 1961 was not operating in calm times. Political tension, economic uncertainty, and international pressure all played a role in production decisions. Minting numbers were limited. Quality varied. Small details that no one noticed at the time became crucial decades later. Men who understand tools, machinery, and production know this truth well. When systems change, mistakes happen. Variations appear. Slight differences in metal composition, strike depth, alignment, and finish emerge. These are not errors to a trained eye. They are fingerprints of history. Collectors do not chase coins. They hunt moments, and the 1961 South Africa 5 cents coin contains several moments frozen in metal. Look closely at its design. The imagery reflects a country redefining itself. The lettering, the spacing, the weight, the feel in the hand. This coin does not feel like modern change. It feels heavier than it should. More deliberate. As if the people who made it knew it mattered, even if they could not say why. Men who grew up fixing engines, working with their hands, building businesses, or protecting families understand this sensation. Some objects carry intent. You can feel it when you pick them up. Now here is the part most people never consider. Coins like this do not become valuable because everyone wants them. They become valuable because the right people want them. Quiet men. Patient men. Men who do not need approval. Men who understand that history only rewards those who wait long enough. For decades, this coin sat unnoticed. While gold prices rose and fell. While stocks crashed and recovered. While trends came and went. This coin remained unchanged, aging slowly, gaining power through time alone, and time is the most ruthless filter of all. Most coins from 1961 no longer exist in collectible condition. They were scratched, cleaned improperly, corroded, or simply discarded. Each year that passed made surviving examples rarer. Each decade turned them from currency into artifacts, and here is where the psychology of value shifts. Once an object is no longer made, its supply is fixed forever. Demand, however, can grow without limit. As more men reach an age where legacy matters, where history matters, where tangible assets feel safer than numbers on a screen, interest increases, coins become more than hobbies. They become anchors. The 1961 5-cent coin represents something especially powerful, the first breath of a republic. First issues always matter. In every country. In every system. First editions carry authority. They mark beginnings. And beginnings are where stories gain weight. Now imagine a man in his 50s or 60s, holding this coin today. He was either born around that time or raised in its aftermath. This coin predates many careers, many marriages, many life decisions. It has outlasted presidents, policies, and promises. That kind of endurance creates trust, and trust is the foundation of value. This is why serious collectors, the kind who do not talk loudly online, have always watched this coin carefully. They understand that not all examples are equal. Condition matters. Strike quality matters. Provenance matters. And rarity within rarity matters most of all. Some versions of this coin are common. Others are ghost. A slight variation in metal tone. A sharper crest. A cleaner strike. These details separate a coin worth a few dollars from one that enters a completely different category. This is not gambling. This is pattern recognition. Men who have succeeded in business know this well. 99 deals fail. One works. And that one changes everything. The same logic applies here. This coin has quietly crossed thresholds that most people never noticed. Auction whispers. Private trades. Silent competition between collectors who do not need to show off. The kind of men who buy history and lock it away, not to flip tomorrow, but to hold as proof of understanding. And here is where suspense tightens further, because not every 1961 South Africa 5-cent coin carries the same fate. Most are ordinary. But a very small number exist at the intersection of perfect timing, perfect condition, and perfect demand. Those coins are no longer treated as change. They are treated as trophies, and trophies are priceless to the right man. Think about what that means. Something once ignored becomes something contested. Something small becomes something powerful. This is not about metal. It is about meaning. History does not announce itself. It hides in plain sight, and right now, there are still people who unknowingly own this coin, unaware of what they hold. It may be sitting in a drawer, a box, a collection inherited from a father or grandfather, passed down without explanation. That is how wealth transfers quietly, but the window is narrowing. As awareness grows, as surviving examples are graded, authenticated, and locked away, availability shrinks further. The market does not need hype. It only needs scarcity plus belief. And belief is already here. The men who understand this are not asking whether this coin matters. They are asking how many remain, and who controls them, because control defines power. This coin is no longer just South African history. It is global. International collectors recognize first-year Republican issues as foundational assets. They cross borders. They move through private hands. They leave the public eye, and when they resurface, it is never quietly. Now pause for a moment and ask yourself something important. How many times in life does an ordinary object reveal extraordinary value later? How many opportunities are missed because they did not look impressive at first glance? This coin is a lesson disguised as metal. It teaches patience, observation, respect for history, and the understanding that value often arrives long after effort ends. We are approaching the moment where numbers replace story, where the abstract becomes real, where curiosity turns into shock. But before we go there, the full picture must be understood. Because without understanding, the number